What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, coming to you with a quick video. Make sure you check out my website, analysisplayground.com. It'll be in the comment section below. Also, the description there you can find NBA tributes, highlights, rookie analysis, summer league analysis, and NBA breakdowns. Also, hot topics and everything basketball. What is good, YouTube? Is part two. We're going to do the Eastern Conference today. Remember, this is just fun, and we can debate about it in the comment section below. My list ain't accurate, but I think it's close to it. But let's get into it. The Eastern Conference number one seed is the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron James has declined. He's slower. He's not finishing as much as he used to. People are able to guard him more than ever. His post-up game, he misses a lot of jump shots in the post-up game. He really declined a lot, but he's still effective. Kyrie Irving became more efficient since playing with LeBron, so that's going to help him because he got another closer and a finisher. Kevin Love can actually up his roll up a little bit more because they haven't been utilizing him right. And with the decline of LeBron, they need to utilize Kevin Love a lot more. But this team is still going to be a 56, 57 win team, and that should clinch them the number one team in the Eastern Conference. They did lose Delhi. They did lose Mozgov. They might lose J.R. Smith. But this team, as of right now, is still one of the hardest teams to beat just because they have three all-stars on their team, and that's always going to be hard to beat when you have three players that can play at a high level, the highest level in the league. Because remember, Kevin Love was a top 10 player before he decided to be a role player on the team, but he still can put up buckets if they gave him the chance. Toronto Raptors number two, just because they got DeMar, and Kyle Lowry, Jonas, Potel, too. He's a baller. Uh, this team is very, very good on paper, and it's going to be hard to beat them. They just flop in the postseason, but they finally got over that last year, beating Indy, beating the Heat, and challenging the Cleveland Cavaliers. So this team is only getting better together. The coaches figuring out his players and playing them the right way. And the sky is the limit. Once you get to the Eastern Conference Finals, your goal is just to get to the finals because you already got that far. Now the last goal is to win the championship. So now they know. And then DeMar Carroll is like the missing link because he was injured majority of the season. So we don't really know what to expect from him and what he can do because we haven't seen that much from him because he was injured. Then he had to recover from the injury. So that puts them higher than me because DeMar Carroll become more of an X factor. Indiana Pacers is a team people sleep on. This team finished 8th last year. They almost made it to the playoffs without Paul George missing the whole season, damn near, and they still almost made the playoffs with Frank Vogel as the coach. This team is going to play a faster, more up-tempo offense. Paul George is going to get easier buckets because he got better teammates. They upgraded adding Jeff Teague because he's a better facilitator and a better offensive player than George Hill. And George Hill was more of a spot-up shooter and didn't really do that much offensively. Jeff Teague is more aggressive and he forces the defense to react. And then you got Monte Ellis that does the same thing alone well as Paul George. Then you got the big man with Miles Turner, Al Jefferson, and people like that. It's going to be hard to stop this team because they're versatile and they have really no weaknesses to me. And they improve their offense a whole lot, adding all these pieces to the puzzle. So I like this team. I like this roster, and they only getting better as of right now. The Pacers going to be scarier in the future because the cap is rising. They getting everybody on cheap deals. But the thing is, I don't know if they're going to keep Jeff Teague in the future or not because he only there for one more year. But he is upgrade over George Hill offensively, not defensively. Knicks is number 5 just because Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, and Carmelo Anthony is going to be hard, but they also added Courtney Lee, who's a player that don't need the ball to be effective. He can take up shots. He can also knock down the spot up three. He's a hard worker. He's a great defender. He does the little things that matter, just like Joakim Noah, that can tip the balance of a game because people don't really expect him to do that much. And then he comes up with the steals, he come up with the blocks, he come up with the clutch mid-range shots every once in a while. Courtney Lee is just a great role player. He knows his role and he plays it well. And Joakim Noah has a lot to prove. Derrick Rose come back with a chip on his shoulder. They missed the playoffs. He's gonna come back healthier because he had more time off. He get to work on his game a lot more, get a lot more practice in, get a lot more chance to get healthy because they didn't make the playoffs. So he had months to practice and work harder to work on his body. So he had a better finish to his last season. He started off a little rocky, then he finished a lot better than we expected. Derrick Rose is going to be scary this year because of this whole break that he had to get better and more healthier and watch more tape. And he already finished the season on a good pace. Detroit Pistons, I actually got them going up because Stan Van Gundy continues to prove that he's one of the best coaches. He built this team. He had Josh Smith, Greg Monroe. Then he hurried up and changed that to a playoff roster in 2 years. And Reggie Jackson has proven that he can carry a team to the playoffs as one of the best point guards in the league. He can score, he can pass, he can finish, and he just got to continue to improve his three-point shooting. Tobias Harris showed that he didn't want to be on a team that couldn't make the playoffs, so he jumped on to the Detroit Pistons bandwagon and helped them make the playoffs. Andre Drummond has continued to improve every season, and he's going to continue to prove this season, and he got his money. So, and all these teams, Detroit got all their money paid already. They paid Reggie Jackson all his money for multiple years. Andre signed for multiple years. Tobias for multiple years. So all they got to do is pay Caldwell Pope, and then they have all the people locked down for multiple years. Uh, Atlanta Hawks is my number 7 just because I don't really know what to expect for them because they're going to have Dwight Howard anchoring that defense. I do like Dwight Howard over Horford because I like his defense better because he can literally shut down teams sometimes. Because when I watched Houston games last year, he still showed the ability to lock down plays and lock down pick and rolls and everything like that. So I like Dwight Howard anchoring that center position and he a better shot blocker too. But I want him to go back to being an offensive dominant player. Y'all say Dwight Howard fell off, but Dwight Howard really haven't been getting the touches. You see every season, if you look up the stats, his shot attempts has decreased because some reason they just decrease. But with that being said, if you give him the shot attempts, Dwight Howard showed that he can still score and he can still put up numbers. And they still got Kyle Korver. They still got Schroeder. They still got Kent Bazemore. They still got Paul Millsap, who's an all-star and one of the best top 25 players in the league. So they should be straight. Washington Wizards is actually going to be my pick. I know we got the Chicago Bulls. I know we got other teams like the Hornets, who I actually wanted to put here. But the Washington Wizards, they just had a lot of injuries. They had a lot of trades that happened with getting Markieff Morris. But John Wall and Bradley Beal proved time and time again that they can make the playoffs. They also proved that they went to almost a game away from going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Bradley Beal is always injured is the problem, but they also proved that when Bradley Beal is in the playoff, he always steps up in the playoffs. He always steps up in the playoffs, but he just got to stay healthy in the regular season. That's his only weakness. He always injured for 20-plus games in the regular season. If he can have a healthy season, it's going to be tough to beat the Washington Wizards. But I know I said the Chicago Bulls may miss it, and the honorable mentions is them and the Hornets. But the Hornets actually might make it. I might be wrong on that. But I already take accountability on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What you guys think. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, signing out.